everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about nuances and interesting play patterns for Selesnya Cage. In case you're just picking up the deck, you just want to double check, even though you've been playing the deck for a while, or if you're playing against the deck, you should probably know these things. The first nuance is understanding how the Cage, combo works. So Collector's Cage has Hideaway 5, which means they look at the top 5 cards of the library, and they exile a card face down underneath Collector's Cage. And then Collector's Cage has an ability where you can pay 1 mana and tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. And then pretty much your whole deck are not only things with different powers, but creatures that can create other creatures. So it's pretty easy to fulfill that condition on Collector's Cage. And so the big targets here are Overlord of the Mistmoors, being able to cheat that onto the battlefield turn 3 seems pretty solid, and Selesnya Gearhulk, Wiltleaf Liege, Sandstorm Salvager really good. There's a bunch of awesome targets that we essentially get to put on the battlefield for 1 mana, and then in addition, Collector's Cage is able to pump up our creatures as combat tricks, because it's instant speed. Meaning we can do it during our opponent's turn, we can do it after our opponent's tapped out, we can do it to put an Overlord of the Mistmoors on the battlefield as a blocker, which makes it really hard to play around and makes it a priority for your opponent to make sure that you don't fulfill the requirements of Collector's Cage. Speaking of the Selesnya Gearhulk, Bright Glass, I think it's called, this deck has more recently shifted towards being sort of a toolbox deck with the Gearhulk, playing a bunch of cool 1-drops like these, so that when you put a Gearhulk on the battlefield, you're able to toolbox things that you need. Being aware of the toolbox targets, especially when you're playing it, so you know whether you should play the Gearhulk now because you really need a toolbox or something, or playing against it is pretty important. And then the last interesting play pattern / nuance you should probably know about is Parting Gust on your own creatures. Because understand, most cards in this deck have enter the battlefield effects. Most of the enter the battlefield effects create tokens. Something like Overlord or Bright Glass Gearhulk, I guess it doesn't make a token, but you can search again. Parting Gust can get something out of the way, sure, so you can attack, but also the secret mode of it is bouncing something like Overlord of the Mistmoors and bringing it back, and that's even better in response to a removal spell, because then it's just a billion for 1, and you get the end of the battlefield effects again. Those are the interesting nuances and weird play patterns in the Selesnya Cage deck. If you know of any others, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.